Kenny Ellis, Gervonta Davis's trainer, back at it, this time with some facts around Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson. And through a retweet, lets everybody know what the truth is and kind of hard to refute it. Specifically, Gervonta Davis is significantly more accomplished, according to Kenny Ellis, than Devin or Shakur are, and people need to stop with what you call the cap. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're gonna go through some facts about three of the most popular young lightweights, former lightweights in the world, and some fights that people are really looking forward to and hope get made. One includes the three undefeated fighters: Gervonta Davis, WBA 135-pound champion; Shakur Stevenson, 135-pound champion for the WBC; and Devin Haney, champion of absolutely not a dang thing, but former, now I guess he's the champion in recess, former 35-pound undisputed fighter and former WBC 140-pound champion, current WBC champion in recess. Now, I got to go over some facts with you and with some statements to you, and then we're going to analyze this because honestly, man, I've been saying this for a while, but at the same time, man, it's always interesting to see how people think and judge fighters. So in this particular tweet, you had Kenny Ellis, who retweeted IGE More Eyes. IGE More Eyes. He said, war with whoever. But they keep saying bro ain't fighting nobody. How he done knocked out 10 champions at Gervonta. So you go through the statistics that they lay out, and we'll go through Devin's first. Current or former world champions faced 6. Who are those 6 champions off the top of my head? Who would that be? It would be Regis Prograis, Lomachenko, George Kambosos. Who did he fight before? Jojo Diaz, Yuriokis Gamboa, and I'm sure there's one more. And who's the one more champion after that? Oh, and Jorge Linares. So that's 6. Those are the 6. All right. So how many did Shakur fight? Current or former world champions? Shockingly low number for Shakur Stevens with 2. Now, who would those 2 be? That obviously is Oscar Valdez, who is the WBC 130-pound champion, and the WBO 130-pound champion. My guy, the Marine. Please forgive me, man. You know who I'm talking. Herring, Jamel Herring. So those are the 2. And then you have Gervonta, current or former world champions faced 10. So he has more world champions that he's faced or beat than both Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson combined, according to that stat. Then the next stat is undefeated fighters faced. Devin Haney beat 5 undefeated fighters. One would be, who would he? I'm not sure who the 5 would be. You had George Kambosos, who was undefeated. Regis Prograis was not undefeated. Lomachenko was not undefeated. I'd have to go back and look to see exactly who it was that he was undefeated. I don't think he's beaten any undefeated people for championships, but undefeated fighters, opponents face 5. Shakur Stevenson, 3. Gervonta Davis, 11. Now, devil's advocate, that does not mean that the 11 undefeated fighters, were better than some of the fighters that were defeated, right? So Lomachenko was a defeated fighter and Frank Martin was an undefeated fighter. So, what's the better win? Is it Lomachenko who had two losses, but is a monster, or Frank Martin who didn't have any, and Hector Luis Garcia who didn't have any? And what do you think about them, right? Are they even better fights than Leo Santa Cruz, who had losses, right? So very questionable thing, man. But I mean, it's an interesting stat, though. Now here they talk about pay-per-view numbers, highest pay-per-view numbers. They list on this for Devin Haney 400,000. Devin Haney ain't done 400,000 pay-per-views in his life. So and may never do it, but this number is what they gave, so we'll go with it, whatever. Number of pay-per-view buys for highest number of pay-per-view buys by Shakur Stevenson, 0, because he hasn't been on one yet. And this next one ain't gonna be good that he's getting on. Highest for Gervonta, 1.2 million. My problem with this stat is it really doesn't talk about who's the better fighter. It really just means who the more popular fighter is, right? And who had the highest ticket prices. But I'm not really stressing on that as far as what it means as fighters. Weight class, and then you have weight classes competed in. Gervonta Davis competed in 4 weight classes. That's 126, 130, 135, and 140. Shakur Stevenson has competed in 3 weight classes, which are 126, 130, 135. Hasn't been to 140 yet. And Devin has 2. 135 that he probably should have never been in, and 140. Probably should be 147. Then you have multiple world titles, 2 for multiple world titles, 2 multiple world titles. I don't understand that stat. They say 2 multiple world titles, 2 for Devin, multiple world titles, 3 for Shakur, and multiple world titles, 3 for Gervonta. I don't understand what they mean by that. I would say that a multiple world title is when you have more than one world title at the same time. So it really should be, at least the way that I read it, multiple world titles, 1 time at a weight class for Devin, 1 time for Shakur, and 0 times for Gervonta. But again, this is similar to the undefeated fighters and former world champions. You don't know where they were. You don't really know where they were in their career. So you don't know what kind of fighter you got for a unification fight, right? So you could unify against somebody that's trash, like George Kambosos, right? Like, yeah, there you go. Or you can unify against, I think a better unification fight was for Shakur for Oscar Valdez. But I haven't seen Gervonta in a unification fight, so I can't really give that to him. And then, of course, the last one they go through is the amount of gate receipts that they've had. 22.8 for Gervonta, 4.3 for Devin. I think that's an accurate one. I think that is the I thought it was 4.6, but 4.3, that was the fight with Ryan in the Barclays Center. And then the highest gate for Shakur is 1.6 million. And I do believe that was for when he fought somebody in Newark, New Jersey, and they sold like 10,000 tickets in Newark, New Jersey. But the overall picture of it is this conversation is the following. The most accomplished guy of the 3 of them, the most accomplished is Gervonta. The senior fighter between the 3 of those are Gervonta. The king of the crew down there is Gervonta. But these guys are very well positioned to have a lot of accolades to get that fight. And because these guys have done so much, Even though Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia, these are still fights that should get made. These are still fights that are very, very active and very, very attractive to fight fans for Shakur and Devin. And the killer thing to me is that all three of these guys are extremely, extremely confident, accomplished professional fighters. But to listen to the fan bases act like you're either the best thing in the world and the other guy is garbage has been frustrating for me for a while now. But I thought that this particular conversation was interesting. Please let me know what you think about it and whether this is a good way to look at a fighter or not. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.